Window. He's here to help with the pass. Cool.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the pass. Cool.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Voices of the Valley. It's our Saturday edition of all the things that we're going to be covering here from live in downtown St. Louis at the Missouri Valley Men's Basketball Tournament. Brent Stover is our first guest today. Voices of the Valley, as we're talking to play-by-play guys and beat writers and league officials talking about this great basketball tournament. But first, welcome home. You used to live here.
I know. It's so good to come back to St. Louis always. I love, it's one of the great sports cities, as you know. And I always loved the Missouri Valley Tournament. I've had the good fortune at CBS Sports Network to be in the studio a lot, living in New York, but also calling games around the country. And when we picked up the rights to part of this package, and then I was able to get the semifinals, just thrilled because, as you know, this tournament, the city takes a backseat to nobody, really.
How long were you in St. Louis?
I was in St. Louis 2 different times, 2 years in the early 2000s, and then again came back in the summer of 2008, which I think was like the only year in the last decade that the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs, but I was doing sideline for the Cardinals that summer while living in Chicago and St. Louis. So.
And did you go to Kansas City for a while?
No, I went from here, where did I go to St. Louis? Pittsburgh, then Chicago, and then New York City.
Good night. It's Brent Stover. He's with CBS Sports. There's all kinds of names for that now. It's CBS Sports Network.
That's the one.
Right. And of course, they've made a great partnership with the Valley this year. You got around and saw a number of the teams this year. The network did, and the coverage of the league. So give us a little bit of your impression of the Missouri Valley Conference.
I love it, and I know it's down just a little bit this year. There were times when it was, solid 3-bid league and solid 2. It's down a little, but the competitiveness is not.
Right.
Again, the backdrop hasn't dropped off at all. I think Northern Iowa is a team that if they got into the NCAA tournament, obviously got to win this weekend, the whole thing. They could easily make the second weekend of the NCAA, and nobody would be that surprised. Wichita State, if they made the Final Four, would we be shocked?
Not at all.
Evansville, they got some quality wins and senior laden. To me, it's been a blast, and those 3 teams have really stood out to me. In the Illinois State, and then they get beat last night, upset by Indiana State. Which, if I were going to call one upset yesterday, that was it.
Right, sure.
That I would have called. So you never know, but I don't know. It was awesome, the quarterfinals yesterday.
Tell us about your lifestyle. You're in and out. You're living in New York, but you're out traveling, doing games all over the place. Give us a Brent Stover typical week.
Wow. Well, I don't know if there is one.
I do see you in the studio during March Madness and those kind of things as well.
Yeah, so CBS Sports Network during March, we do a ton of programming, kind of around the clock, showing live press conferences. We have current and former coaches and players in the studio and basically just talk basketball while the games are going on, before the games are going on, late at night after the games are over during the NCAA tournament.
Do you ever feel like you run out of jazz to say?
You know, I would, except I'm with some guys who love to talk.
Right, that's right.
So there's times when I can go a few minutes out of that set and not say a word. But during the regular season, yeah, I'll call a game or two per week, and I'll be in studio a day or two per week. So it's really the most fun combination for my mind.
Give us the behind the scenes on just anybody there. We see him on TV, and they're like really a cool person.
Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah.
And he's he had the magical run.
Right.
In the late night, like 1999 with Miami of Ohio, where he scored 43 in a tournament game. They made the Sweet 16, got some big upsets. He's a guy that is so much fun to hang out and talk college basketball with, and movies and shows. And he's got like a fifth or sixth kid on the way right now. Like, he's a guy with a big name and a big reputation who's just as down to earth as you can get.
This weekend, of course, you talked about the one upset. Indiana State knocks off Illinois State last night, and if you're a guy like me, I watch this league a lot, and I'm a big fan of every team and of every coach, and so I'm really happy for Greg Lansing, and I'm brokenhearted for Dan Muller. You know, with each game that takes place. So we have that one wild card in, the sixth-seeded, Indiana State team. But what are your impressions of Wichita State? Let's just go kind of top down. Talk about the Shockers a little bit.
I like them a lot. I mean, obviously that 3-game losing streak they had, they were missing 4 of their top 7 scorers. How much the committee is going to look at that, I don't know. I certainly hope they do. They're a team that can make a deep run, but quite frankly, and I hate to say it, but when you look at the games in the non-conference, when they were banged up, but still, those are the games you kind of...
They were some of their tougher competition, too.
Exactly.
Right.
And they
lost them.
So when you look at what there is on their resume, there isn't a ton. But the reputation and the fact that they are healthy and they got Baker, who willed them to victory, said, you know what, this is not
yesterday. That's right.
And Van Fleet, I think they're every bit as dangerous as they were in the Final Four year, as well as the year where they went unbeaten before losing to Kentucky in the round of 32.
Which was an awesome game.
The best college basketball game of that tournament that year. So I think they're every bit as good. So that's my thought on them.
The Shockers play today at 2:30. Brent will have the call. I assume you have both games today?
Got both games today.
Both games.
Sports Network.
And at 2:30, right at CBS Sports Network, going to be a terrific game against Northern Iowa, coached by Jake the Giant Killer. Ben Jacobson, 3 top 25 wins this year. They knocked off North Carolina early in the year, Iowa State early in the year, and then knocked off the Shockers when they were in the top 25. But Ben has a habit of knocking off teams like that. Just talk a little bit about Northern Iowa.
It's awesome. I actually was asked to pick the bracket, and I picked Northern Iowa to win this game, to beat Wichita State today. Now, in terms of, I'm going to damage my credibility as I say that, because I had Illinois State coming from the other side.
Oh, sure.
I had Northern Iowa beating Illinois State in the championship game. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. It almost feels like the championship game in this first semifinal.
I agree.
Northern Iowa's a team. Would you be shocked at all if they made the second weekend of the NCAA?
No, not at all, because they can beat anybody. They shoot as good as anybody in the league, anybody in the nation, and then they defend so stinking well, and they're just smart. They're smart players. They know what they're doing, and yeah, it's a team that can do awesome things.
Wes Washburn is my favorite player in the league to watch.
Me too.
Had 2 huge blocks late. On senior day at Evansville to close out the regular season, final week of the regular season, had a massive block against DJ Valentine to preserve that victory. And then Jeremy Morgan, this guy does everything. He leads them in blocks, steals, rebounds, has a nose for the ball. They have the ability.
And nobody knows his name,
Nobody knows his name.
That's right.
And they can do, he's like a free safety. He's like Troy Polamalu. He just kind of runs all over the floor defensively and then hits big shots as well. To me, they're built for a deep run, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if they ended up winning this tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I think of Wes Washburn. I think the best money guy that's out there. I mean, if the game's on the line, I want the rock in that guy's hand.
No, I do, and on defense, I'm blocking threes.
That was crazy. What was it against Anthony Bean yesterday? Just blocked 2 shots right in front of me where I happened to be sitting. I mean, just elevated, and this outstanding score is just erased. And so, the Northern Iowa Panthers take on the Shockers at 2:30. Then later on around 5 o'clock, you've got Indiana State, the upstart team, going against Evansville, and good night. You know, DJ Ballantyne's the 4th leading scorer all time in the league. Egidius Moskevicius is the 5th leading rebounder all time. Those two guys have done so many special things. It'd be awfully cool for them to win this thing.
It would, but they're going to have to play a lot better. I thought they forced some stuff. They got in too deep in the lane and forcing up shots yesterday. Egidius struggled, in my mind, from what I've seen out of him. Same for Ballantyne, but from day to day, you know how it is. It's survive and advance. So you walk out of that if you're Marty Simmons and you're like, well, yeah, we're going to have to play better, but the law of averages, based on what we've done all season, we are going to play a lot better, and we're still alive right now. So I like them in that second game. I don't know if Lansing's team, there's not a ton there to hang your hat on.
Right.
I want to take nothing away from the job he's done, and they got that great combo in the backcourt, but I think it ends here for them, and I think it sets up an Evansville team in the championship game, which, again, you talk about veteran guys and veteran leadership who don't want this thing to end right now, and they know they've got to win this weekend to make the tournament. I think that, that hangs on guys' minds and has a funny way this time of year of affecting the outcome of games.
Well, it was surprising to me, and I didn't realize this. I pay attention to this league, that group, Ballantyne and Moskevicius and Wing, had never even made it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that last night. We finally made it to Saturday at Arch Madness. I'm like, how is that possible? But here they are, and with a chance to get to Sunday.
No, and the draw that they wanted. I mean, Simmons probably wouldn't say it, but you don't want Illinois State.
No.
They're up and down, but when they're up, they're really, really good. So I think it's broken nicely now for Marty Simmons' team to get into the championship. And then, whether it's Wichita State or Northern Iowa, they played them both tough this year. I mean, I certainly wouldn't count them out. I mean, that's, again, the first question you asked me, I said the league's a little bit down, but then if you've listened to me for the last 10 minutes, it's at the top, these are really good teams.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be shocked if Evansville, if they snuck into the dance, won a game or two. I mean,
yeah, I think in that tournament they could really do some damage. Unfortunately, unless they win tomorrow, they won't be in that tournament. I went and watched them with the 3 of their CIT games last year, and it was a fun ride for them to win that tournament last year.
And and Dan Muller, the Illinois State coach, told us last week it's tougher. Getting into the big dance is not the issue. Winning in the big dance is not as nearly as big of an issue as just trying to get there.
Right.
And that's why, looking at the 3 of the 4 teams with Northern Iowa, Wichita State, and Evansville today, that's exactly what they're facing. I mean, think about the draw that Northern Iowa's had. Southern Illinois and Anthony Bean, you can light it up. Like, now you get Wichita State in the semis. If they somehow get through this, probably get Evansville in the final.
Right.
When they get in the NCAA tournament,
take a breath.
Exactly. No, you're thinking, well, we get in, we're 13?
Sure.
Depending on the matchup, and especially the way college basketball is big picture this year, how strong is a 4 or 5 seed going to be? I mean, it'll be okay. It'll come down to the matchup, but that's why, if Jacobs' team can get in, that's the one I'm really circling right now.
Jake the Giant Killer, don't forget.
Exactly.
Don't forget.
Was it 2010 when Farouk Manesh, KU?
Yeah.
And they beat Wyoming last year, and they lost to Louisville in the round of 32.
Listen, they beat some of the best teams out there over the last couple of years. We've got about 1 minute left with Brent Story. He's got to go get ready. He's got to get the makeup on and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
it's already on?
For your show.
Oh, that's perfect. Tell us exactly where people can find you throughout this coming month.
Throughout the coming month, we will be on, whether it's myself or Adam Zucker hosting, we kind of lay a bunch of guys out there. Dana Jacobson will host. We got about 10 different analysts, pretty much on CBS Sports Network all the month of March, beginning this weekend, and then we got a couple of conference tournaments next weekend, and then after that, it's just a ton of studio programming surrounding March Madness. So you got your games on Turner, TBS, TV, CBS, and then we're over there just kind of running the gamut with analysis, highlights, press conferences, stuff like that, pretty much every day throughout March.
Can people follow you on Twitter somewhere? Are you not a Twitter guy?
There's a lot of people that are not happy about that, which I don't get because I'm like, does anyone really care what I think?
Sure, of course I do.
Do we know where Southern?
So I'm not on right now, but And we have Gary Parrish doing sidelines.
Gary Parrish is here. That's right. Live, right here.
He's really one of the legends.
True enough.
Of the media business in college basketball. But no, I got to get on Twitter at some point.
There you go.
Maybe this will be the straw that broke the camel's back.
There you go. Our old friend Brent Stover used to be here in the Lou and covering the Valley Tournament this weekend for CBS Sports Network. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching Voices of the Valley right here on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the pass.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the pass.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the pass.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the pass.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the passing.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual.
Back, Gary Parrish joins us from CBS Sports as well. We're just going CBS. Sure. That's what we're doing. Hey, we were just talking before we came on that man, you're traveling everywhere. Unlike Brent, you probably have, I know you have a Twitter account, and I know, right? I'll get him back on. I was giving him a hard time about that, but you're riding a lot, hosting a lot, and then on the air a lot. Tell us a little bit about your job.
Yeah, when I got into this, I always had a face for writing as opposed to television. So
listen, I know, I was a long-time radio guy.
I know, right? So this wasn't the plan. I even tell people sometimes when I went to college, they actually, I don't guess they made you, but they suggested, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a newspaper guy, or do you want to be a radio guy, or do you want to be a television guy? I said, I want to be a newspaper guy. I want to be a writer. And I became a writer, and then you get hired at CBS, and I'm still a writer, but then it turns into a radio show, and it turns into television. So now I am technically, you look at my contract, more of a TV person than a writer, which is bananas, but it's turned out well. As that, I tell kids today, I never took a radio class when I was in college. I never took a television class when I was in college. Perhaps that's obvious, but you should, because the truth is, if you have any sort of level of success in media, in journalism, you're probably going to be asked to do all three. You're probably going to be presented with opportunities to do all three, so learn to do all three if possible. But like you said, it's a lot of travel. I'm in New York literally every week. I wake up on Monday morning, fly to New York. I wake up on Thursday morning, fly back home. And that's the travel even when I don't go anywhere on the weekends. And I often go places on the weekends.
Like today.
Yeah, like today. Here I am. Luckily, this is close enough to my home in Memphis. I was able to bring my family up with me, so they're kicking it around St. Louis. But it's let me say, a difficult way to make a good living.
Sure.
But it beats like what my parents did. I'm having a good time with it.
I'm with you. You are traveling all over the place, and like you said, you're in New York. Read your stuff on the website all the time, and you have to be so involved and connected with a lot of people, don't you?
Well, I look at some people who just do television, some people who just do radio, and some people who just write. And on one hand, I'm envious of that, while recognizing I could have it if I wanted to. I could certainly resign, but it is a much simpler life when you can focus on one thing. The idea that you don't, I think we all try to lie to ourselves sometimes and say, oh no, I can do it, and you can do it, but you sacrifice something. Sometimes it's family stuff, frankly. I can't be everywhere I'd like to be, but I've taken weeks off of writing, but still done radio, and feel like I'm not even working. Wow, some people really, this is their only job. And perhaps I'll get to that one day, but you don't want to shortchange any of it. So just because I have other jobs doesn't mean I don't properly prepare for my radio show as if it were my only job in the world. Just because I have other jobs doesn't mean I don't dive into a column the way just a pure columnist would dive into a column. So it can spread you thin, but so far I'm holding up okay. At least I think I am.
This is Gary Parrish. He's with us from CBS Sportsline, CBS Sportsline, CBS Sports Network, CBS Sports TV. I mean, all the different names and the platforms. But that's the issue. It's the platforms. Everything has migrated. I was a radio guy, right? And the next thing I know, we're shooting things like this. I ended up in television for a while, and now I'm also writing for someone. I'm like, these writers are a different animal. I don't know how to do this. I'm like, How would Gary write that? I try to channel you often.
Well, you know what? I have my own insecurities in different ways. Like, for instance, I'll be doing sideline reporting here at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, and I find myself picking the brains of other sideline reporters. Saying, hey, how do you handle this situation? How do you handle that situation? Because while I'm more comfortable than I've ever been doing it, I still don't do it often, and I'm not that comfortable doing it. So when I'm most comfortable is, hey, I need 700 words on what just happened at Louisville. Okay, let me knock that out. That's what I do. That's what they initially hired me to do.
Right.
I had done that at a level where somebody thought, hey, this guy could do this for us.
Right.
This other stuff is just stuff that happened. And so, whereas you're comfortable on radio, but maybe still trying to get comfortable typing words, I was always comfortable typing words, or had been for a long time. Whereas at first I wasn't comfortable on radio, and honestly, I go back and listen to some of my first radio shows, and they make me cringe. I can also go back and listen to one from last week, and it might make me cringe, but at least sounds more like what I want to do. So, when you start to do a whole bunch of jobs, think of it like this. And this is what I had to remind myself of. How many people are good at 3 different things?
Right.
It's hard
that's
to
right.
be.
Yeah.
So you just do your best. That's what I've tried to subscribe to.
All right, so we've plopped you in the middle of the Missouri Valley Conference, and I know you're an expert. You're a college basketball guy. I mean, that's.
I trick people into college basketball. Mike Krzyzewski asked me one time. He said, "So how do you become a college basketball expert? You just get somebody to call you a college basketball expert. That's all it takes." How did Jerry Pone become a bracketologist? Somebody just called him a bracketologist.
Right. Well, listen, and this stuff's awesome. He's so fun to read. But tell me a little bit about that. I mean, you're plopped into this. Tomorrow you might be somewhere else. I mean, and you have to know a lot of stuff. And like today, you have to say Moscovicius or right.
My job's a little easier than the job, frankly, that say Brent Stover's doing. They really have to know their stuff. They're talking for about an hour, 45 minutes. The truth is, in sideline reporting, I'll do a 20-second hit at the top. Anybody gets hurt, my responsibility is to take that down. I'll ask Greg Marshall 2 questions coming out of there, or Ben Jacobson 2 questions coming out of halftime. Ask the other 2 questions coming back in. In terms of actually on-air time, there's not a whole lot of it, so I can get through it. But I am really wowed by those guys because today they'll do 2 games. In some cases, in the NCAA tournament, they'll be assigned to do 4 games in one day. You really got to be prepared to do that. So those are the guys doing the heavy lifting. Relatively speaking, my job is simpler.
Talk about this league, though. Tell me, just give me a few thoughts. I don't want to keep you forever, but a few thoughts about this league.
First off, I love this event every year. I've come to this simply as a writer and have always been blown away. I wish that college basketball purists would, in terms of the bucket list things in college basketball, like go to Allen Fieldhouse, go to Cameron Indoor, all those things. This, I think, is one of them because I don't think you can properly appreciate the commitment the fans have to this event until you're here. I've been to SEC tournaments. I've been to the Pac-12 tournament. Nobody there. So often. This is different. There's going to be people here today. And it's going to be terrific. And so my first impression has always been, wow. As it relates to this particular event, honestly, I think Wichita's the story because if you go to Final Four and you follow that with undefeated regular season, you become a national player.
Sure.
They were able to hold on to Greg. That makes them a national player. Fred VanVleet and Ron Baker here, they're All-American candidates. They're stars. So the focus is always going to be on Wichita. And what's interesting here is that I don't know if they're in a make-or-break situation. But I wouldn't want to lose and have to sit around for a week.
No
because
kidding.
The resume, and you know this, if they were to lose at any point over the next couple of days, they're going to be sitting on Selection Sunday with 1 top 90 win in the RPI. And because it would be an additional, they have 4 losses outside the top 50 right now, taking another would be 5. Most teams don't get in with that resume. I'm just telling you. If you give that resume to Indiana State, they're not getting in.
Right.
Wichita has going for it.
The name.
The name matters. They'll tell you it doesn't. Just trust me, it does. And I think for 2 reasons. One, you just know they're good. Even if they haven't been able to prove it with the body of work, because they took some losses without Fred that could have been quality wins, you just know they're good. It's Fred VanVleet, it's Rob Baker, it's Greg Marshall. There's no way they're not good. And then, the KenPom formula, which is widely respected in college basketball circles, does have them in the top 10 right now. So if you're on that committee, you can look up and say, I know the resume isn't much, but they're good. And here's a computer formula that backs it. put them in the field. So I think ultimately, win or lose, before getting the automatic bid, they'll be in, but it will be a stressful week. And you'll be rooting for all the favorites to win the other bid because their resume's not great, even though I think they're really, really good.
When you look down at their opponents today, Northern Iowa, they've got 3 top 25 wins on their resume. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Then they hiccup a lot to some other teams. Right. But Ben Jacobson just year in and year out just cranks out quality teams, programs, but those wins against top flight teams happen on a regular basis with them.
Well, that's the thing. Frankly, I'd be scared of. We're talking here right before Wichita, Northern Iowa tip-off. That's the thing I'd be terrified of if I'm Wichita, because though you have handled Northern Iowa, they also handled you, but this is the team that handled North Carolina. This is the team that handled Iowa State. They're capable of beating somebody like you. That's always what scares me. Like, Wichita gets into a game with somebody else in this field, you can go, hey, listen, they really haven't beaten anybody like us. They're good, they're fine. They ain't beat anybody like us. Northern Iowa, they beat people like you. Arguably beat 2 people better than you. And so that can be, Wichita's a significant favorite. They should win the game. But anytime you're in a single elimination tournament of a 40-minute basketball game, and the other team has beaten somebody like you multiple times, you're vulnerable. And so with all due respect to the second semifinal, this is the one.
This is the game.
This is the game. This is the one that we're going to have an audience for.
And then I want to go to that second game a little bit. DJ Ballantyne is probably like the best kept secret in America, right?
I really do think so. In the sense that I bet you I could poll people who cover college basketball for a living and say, who scored more points among all active Division I players in college basketball right now? And some would get it, but I don't know how many would. And, Ron and Fred get so much attention in this league, deservedly so. I think they're terrific. But DJ
statistically, he's dwarfed them.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Like, he scored way more points. He's been on relevant teams, not great teams, but relevant teams. And nobody in all of college basketball, you ready? Buddy Hield, not Denzel Valentine.
That's right.
None of these guys have scored at the rate that he scored. And so when we were discussing before today's semifinals, some hits to do, I was sort of selling to my producer, let me talk about DJ, because while I think everybody knows he's a good player, I don't think they know to what extent he's actually accomplished things at the collegiate level. And the reason, frankly, is certainly leagues outside of the Power 5, but even inside, but certainly inside the Power 5, we don't pay attention unless you're Sweet 16. We don't pay attention unless you're consistently in the top 25. I mean, you and I do, but most people don't. And so that's been one of the neat stories. And I'm not going to root for one or the other, but having Ballantyne be in a championship game against Ron and Fred would expose him to an audience that, frankly, he hasn't been exposed to yet.
Well, that's the thing. And they, in defense of all those other people that don't know about him, they've never even made it to the semifinals in his 4 years here.
This is his first time to do that. I noticed that when I was doing research last night, and so this is an awesome stage for him, but you can't compare it to the stage that Big CBS provides.
Right, of course.
That an automatic bid on the line provides. Like, you'll have a whole lot of people watching today because Wichita might be in a must-win situation. So if we get to a point where folks are tweeting, 4 minutes left, tie game, get to CBS Sports Network, suddenly we got a massive audience.
Right.
But there's also a million basketball games going on today.
Right.
Tomorrow, fewer. And you're on Big CBS. And so, again, I'll let the players decide who gets there, but there is a natural storyline for DJ Ballantyne playing on Big CBS against Ron and Fred. I think from the Missouri Valley Conference's perspective, that would be the
best scenario.
Without question.
Before I let you go, I know CBS has been a little bit connected to the Ohio Valley Conference this year as well. It's a league we cover on our side as well. And they've got quite a story going on in Nashville this weekend where Dave Luce and the Austin Peay Governors are playing in the championship game today against UT Martin. So they don't get the number 1 team. Belmont doesn't get there. The traditional power Murray State doesn't get there. Austin Peay is on this unbelievable run. And Dave, just with all the emotion going on related to his granddaughter, it's a pretty cool story in Nashville.
I've known Dave forever, right? Because he has connections to Memphis.
Right.
They play bye games, I don't know about every year, but most years with the University of Memphis. In fact, one of my favorite stories is I remember John Calipari early in his University of Memphis tenure. They lost to Austin Peay. And he went on this long press conference, sort of famous press conference within the Memphis community about, I can't believe I had to lose today, and then write him a $50,000 check. Like, one thing to lose to somebody, like I lose to Bob Huggins, I just lose to Bob Huggins.
Right.
But like when you have to lose somebody and hand them $50,000, that's a tough deal. And so it is a nice story. And we're seeing, I haven't seen the final score yet, but earlier today, like Chattanooga was in trouble, and that's a #1 seed. And so this is. Like next week, all the attention gets to college basketball. It's championship week, right?
Right.
But the high stakes nature of the non-Power 5 leagues, where you are, by the time we get to the Big 12 finals, ACC finals,
all those teams are in anyway.
Yeah, they're playing for seed.
I don't even watch those games.
Right, they're playing for seed, and the coaches don't care about them that much. They try to weigh winning a tournament title against getting an extra day or two of rest. It is live or die with these types of leagues, and so what's happened in the LVC, what will happen in these other one-bid leagues across the country. To me, that is it deserves more recognition, because that is really high-stakes stuff that those kids remember forever, and those coaches, it is a highlight of their career. No matter what happens in the ACC tournament next week, it's not the highlight of Mike Krzyzewski's career, it's not the highlight of Roy Williams' career. Stuff that happens around these things, it's a memory that can often last forever.
One of my favorite basketball memories of all time is right here in this building when Valpo was in the NCAA tournament and lost here after the miracle shot by
Price,
he makes that miracle shot. They end up coming here and playing, and they lose. We're in the tunnel over there, the post-game press conference, and coaches, Coach Drew, Homer Drew, is talking, and he's emotional. You know how he is, and he's emotional, just talking about, gosh, I'm just so proud of my kids. Just what he's saying. And they interrupt the press conference. Somebody comes in and says, Coach, your fans won't leave. You have to leave and come out and talk to your fans. Hundreds of their fans are here still cheering, and it was just awesome environment.
All these years later, like, we remember that. You remember that. So, I never try to trick people into thinking college basketball is the best sport on the planet. Like, the NFL is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like the college football is pretty fun. But these couple of weeks, and really into the NCAA tournament, I mean, there are things that are going to happen that we will all take with us forever. And so it's a really fun time of the year.
Appreciate your time. Have a great broadcast day. Where do you go from here?
I am going home for a couple of days, and then it's back to New York for studio work all next week. Home for a couple of days, studio work all through the NCAA tournament. 64-32. Home for a couple days, New York. I don't even go to games anymore. That's what I tell people. I sit in the studio in New York and get my makeup done, which they can't put enough on me, I don't think.
So you're writing for the website, Twitter. Where do people follow you there?
Gary Parrish, CBS. It's GaryParrish CBS.
Good deal. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Should be a great weekend. Keep it right here. Voices of the Valley. More coming up in just a minute on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the passing.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the passing.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Test.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
Welcome back, everybody. Very grateful that Brent Stover and Gary Parrish, both of CBS Sports Network, have been with us earlier today. And just a little bit, Brian Fritz, the play-by-play announcer for Indiana State, will be with us. They, of course, have a big game later on today, trying to shock the world. They did it yesterday, knocking off Illinois State, and they go against Evansville's Purple Aces in just a little while. They're the second game today, of course, at 2:30. It's this game where the players are warming up right here in front of me. The Northern Iowa Panthers, coached by Ben Jacobson, and of course the Wichita State Shockers, the #1 seed in this tournament. You've got the defending champs, the Northern Iowa Panthers, going against the regular season champs, the Wichita State Shockers. I'm pointing because they're at that farther end. And so we have two really significant basketball games for you today, because I believe that this Northern Iowa team will play March basketball, whether they go to the NCAA tournament or not. But that's really the goal. That's really what they want to do, is to get to the NCAA tournament. And so that's their cry, that's their desire. So to do that, they have to win today against Wichita State. And we look forward to that game today. And then at that's at 2:30. At the 5 o'clock game is this game between Indiana State, which obviously they can go win the tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. Their season's over after this weekend unless they win the tournament. And so they'll be fighting tooth and nail for all of that today. And then Evansville's Purple Aces will be, they've got a chance to play March basketball beyond this as well. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of Voices on the Valley right here.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary assister, just like his twin brother, Chris Paul. Cliff's signature no-ask assist is always a customer pleaser.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window. He's here to help with the passing.
No matter where the assist is needed, it always ends up in the right hands. The best assist is one you never see coming.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table. When you're ready to discuss insurance, we're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
Welcome back to Voices of the Valley. I'm Harry Schroeder. Brian Fritz joins us. He's with Indiana State, and you guys kind of wrecked the bracket yesterday.
Well, it was a good win for the Sycamores. I know Illinois State had a lot of high aspirations. Obviously, they'd beaten Wichita this year, and they're the prohibitive favorite, but it was nice to spoil the party a little bit and see the Sycamores play their best defensive game of the year.
Brian Fritz is the play-by-play announcer for Indiana State. How long for them? How'd you end up with the Sycamores?
I've been in Terre Haute 16 years now, and at a time when the rights changed hands, I knew somebody that worked at one of the stations there in Terre Haute, so it's kind of a, more luck than anything as that kind of goes, but I've really enjoyed my time in Terre Haute. It's a great community, and really excited about this current group of Sycamores with Coach Lansing. He sets a Indiana State record today with his 4th semifinal appearance in this tournament. No other ISU coach has made that many appearances in the semifinals, and those are all just within the last 6 years. He's done a great job, and this has been a good period for Sycamores basketball.
Yeah, when I first started covering the Missouri Valley tournament and the Missouri Valley Conference, Indiana State wasn't very good.
No, they weren't.
And then they had a little uptick a little bit and then fell back down, and then, and Greg's really put it together nicely.
Yeah, we had a 2-year run where Matt Wren and Michael Menzer, and Matt's my color partner on the radio, were juniors and seniors, where we went to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years. Obviously, everybody understands the 79 team in the Bird era, but frankly, other than that, until Coach Lansing got here, Indiana State really was a Thursday night participant and typically one and done in a lot of cases in this tournament. So
see those hands?
Yeah, outstanding
I just had to catch
ball
a ball,
skills.
save the camera.
All kinds of stuff going on here. That's terrific.
It's live. This is live. That's why we have to do this.
Well, that is. So that's a great job to be able to multitask, and goodness knows if you're in radio long enough, you figure out how to multitask and balance a lot of things.
Yeah, one of our friends, Kirk Wessler, got hit in the head yesterday. One of the stat guys got his computer wrecked the other day. Errant passes and shots. Let's talk about Greg Lansing a little bit. He is one of my very favorite basketball coaches, very favorite people out there.
Just a no-nonsense guy. What you see is what you're going to get from Greg. He holds himself to a very high standard and has that same thing for his team. He wants guys to be accountable first and foremost to themselves, but also to each other and to their teammates. And that, for him, has always really started at the defensive end. And a guy that really demands that guys give everything that they have. And the teams that are good and the programs that are successful, their guys play the hardest and they get the most from them. So he's been a really good head coach for Indiana State and really done a great job in his 6 years.
Talk about the fan support program, university. Just talk about that environment around Terre Haute.
Well, Indiana obviously is a basketball state, so when the Sycamores are good, the fans certainly pay attention and come out. Also, obviously we've had a good tradition with some local guys. Jake Odom, a Terre Haute product. The fan base really got behind him when he was there as well. So it's a community that will support the Sycamores when they're good, and I know we'll have more fans over here today. Have already heard from some people that said, I wasn't sure I would get there this weekend, but they're driving over for the semifinal today, and hopeful that the Sycamores are able to find a way to keep it going against a very, very good Evansville team.
Yeah, they're really good on it, and I want to break that game down with you a little bit, but how surprised were you by the win last night, and what was the key there, do you think?
I think the key, without a doubt, was our defense and our defensive intensity and our defensive following the game plan and guys doing what the coaches asked them to do in terms of following the scouting report. We did that better in that game last night than we've done in any game all season long. So that, in my opinion, was the key to the win for the Sycamores last night. And they didn't play well in February. There's no hiding behind that. But it's a new season once you get over here. And to our guys' credit, they dug in. The effort was better. They played together and did all the things you need to do to play winning basketball.
Won a couple of games in a row now. You can breathe easy. They're not going to the NCAA tournament unless they win this game. They're not going to play in the CIT. They're not going to play anywhere unless they win 2 more games this weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty simple formula for Indiana State, no question about that. And that's the situation they put themselves in with a 4 month of February. That's they'd obviously like to have other things out there, but they don't. So this is your Super Bowl here these next 2 days.
I fought this band doing this show many times. If we can talk over the band, let me just ask you about this game. You can't pack it in kind of like you did last night against this team.
No. In this game, it'll be really important that Christian Smith not get into foul trouble like he did last night, because he'll be our primary defender on DJ Valentine. And Miscavige also, we don't have a real good matchup for him.
You don't. I mean, Murphy's strong, but he's not very tall.
No, we don't. And Rickman's tall enough, but he's not very small. Right. So they both really create big matchup problems for us. Frankly, we've had more success with Valentine than we have Miscavige, just because Smith is a pretty good perimeter defender. One of the things we're going to have to do, we're going to have to really make them have to defend us throughout the shot clock. I think there are some positions where we have some athleticism at the offensive end. I think last night, where we won the game with defense, today I expect more of an offensive game between the Sycamores and Aces.
Yeah, if the band would quit playing, we would be a lot better off. So I'll let you go in just a minute. I asked Craig post game last night, and he kind of the question. I've watched 6 games here this week.
I tend to agree. I think the officials, frankly, are put in a really hard spot. Have guys that are doing Final Fours that are doing the Valley.
They were doing third.
sometimes there is a tendency for those officials to call it more the way they've called it their whole lives, and frankly, I think the way basketball people want them to call it, maybe more than how the rules are written. That's a long debate and probably something you could talk about a lot longer than you have time for. But I thought they did a good job yesterday.
I just thought it was so physical, all 6 games, as compared to that kind of mandate they gave out earlier in the year. There wasn't that freedom of movement yesterday.
No, there wasn't. Personally, I like the defensive basketball. With some of the new rules, I don't know, as a post-interior defender, how you guard something.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's really, really hard. I don't think basketball should, score 80 or 90 points. Historically, the best teams in this conference have been because they play good team basketball and great half-court defense.
Well, thank God. I love the Shocker Band. I do, but they are loud when you're this close. I'll let you go. Listen, have a great broadcast today. I appreciate you sneaking in some time. You mentioned Michael Menser. Dude could play.
He could play. That's probably one of my favorite tournament memories was his semifinal performance against Creighton with 32 points a year. That we were a 4-5 seed. They had won the regular season title, and Menser just had his, really his best game of his career with 32 points, and that was a terrific tournament run for the Sycamores. And he and Ren, those are still. I was fortunate; those were my first 2 years. Were their last 2 years. I really appreciated them at the time. 15 years in, you appreciate it even more. Just what a special that was.
Well, we were in playing St. Louis U a couple during the season. Talked to Mike a little bit, and he had his little boy with him, I remember, and he was a terrific player as well.
No question, no question.
All right, that'll do it with my time with Brian Fritz. We're going to take a on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.
We have some news for you.
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table when you're discuss insurance. We're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.
State Farm National Bureau of Assist's agent Cliff Paul is a visionary, just like his twin brother, Chris.
Don't worry, Greg. I'm here to help with the window.
It always ends up in the right hand. The best assist.
Fritz with the Indiana State broadcast. Listen, the broadcasters are a part of this league and this conference. They bring in the best. The play-by-play guys, the writers are as good as they get across the country. I love covering this. For you tomorrow morning. Keep it locked right here on ValleyHoopsInsider.com. We're going to have plenty of stories incoming. Almost got Gary Perry. In the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament at Austin Peay. What a great story, and continuing to pray for his granddaughter, Ryan. They got that tumor out of her this week, and hopefully she's on the road. Make it a better place. You've been watching Voices of the Valley on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.
We have some news for you.
All of this,
I think we need a bigger house.
David, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, I'll look for a job tomorrow.
I'm moving to New York.
I think I need to move home.
Important conversations happen every day around your kitchen table when you're ready to discuss insurance. We're here to listen.
So now what?
Physicians Mutual. Insurance for all of us.